he stole that alley from you.
I know. It's unfortunate.
How do you feel like you guys kind of play with the pace tonight? Obviously, that's always been like a huge deal throughout this preseason.
Yeah.
But how do you feel like you guys are progressing in that area?
I think we played good, like our pace. We played fast, and I think at times we slowed the ball down also. Tyrese was on the floor and kind of, let him go and pick a roll and play out of that. So I felt like we were pretty good. Obviously, still try to limit turnovers and stuff like that in transition. Help us, but I think we did pretty good tonight.
Do you feel like this is kind of like maybe an audition for you to like maybe earn a spot, like in the rotation, for this preseason?
No, for sure. I think it started during training camp. That was my goal, just come to training camp as best shape as possible, and then on the defensive end, just do as best as I can, just try to get in positions and stuff like that. So, even though it's preseason and games don't count, I'm still, approaching it as if it's a regular game, and guarding guys, being active, and just using my athleticism.
With that starting group, just what's that like, kind of finding the spots to fit in with that specific group versus maybe some of the other reserves that you might play with on a different night?
That felt good for me. Tyrese gets up and down the floor fast, so that benefits me a lot. And just me playing with pace and speed, it just helps me a lot. Not just me scoring, but just being aggressive, getting in the paint, kicking out, getting other guys shots and stuff like that.
Tyrese has thrown a lot of lobs this preseason. As someone who has been a recipient of a lot of those lobs, I guess, what has that connection been like for you? What are those conversations like? Where do you want it thrown?
He just told me he gonna throw it. He's just like, I'm gonna throw it by the hoop, so wherever it is, go get it. So I always tell him like I'm running, and he's looking for me and stuff like that. So he told me today like we can get one of those every single game, just in transition. If the defense is kind of lollygagging back and backpedaling, just keep running. He said he's gonna get it to me.
When we gonna see the 3-point shot that you worked on? I think you attempted one.
If I get an open shot for sure, but we've been big on just trying to get next action and stuff like that. So it was an emphasis the past couple of practices we had. So I'm just trying to get into next action, get other guys involved and stuff, so we can just get the ball moving. Because obviously when Joel comes back, it's gonna be a little bit different. He's gonna be posting up and stuff like that, so he might have the ball like a lot of the times with Tyrese and PHI. So just getting a rhythm where everyone's touching the ball and stuff like that. So when Joel is off the floor or when Paul is off the floor, we have a way we can play.
You mentioned Tyrese's speed. Where does he rank as far as like fastest players with the ball that you've ever played with?
Fastest with the ball, he's probably between him and I play with Russ. So Russ is obviously super fast with the ball, but Tyrese probably the fastest that I think I've seen in person.
You've been with him for about a year now. I guess, how have you seen him change over the last year, whether that's how he plays or using his voice in the locker room, things like that?
I think the game just slowed down for him more. That's probably the biggest thing. Obviously last year averaged 25, 26 points, so we understand that he can do that, but I think the game was slowing down for him and him picking his spots. I noticed. Obviously, I think today he had another mid-range like on the kind of right side of the court, so I think that's something that he added to his game this past summer. So there's him. The game is slowing down for him, and obviously using his voice. He's a cornerstone of the franchise. He's 23 years old, so he's gonna be here for a long time. So just him, being here since he got drafted and now, that helps a lot. Also, just him understanding, how the coaching staff works and all that stuff, so you can kind of be a coach on the court.
You mentioned Joel and him coming back, and when we talk about spacing, usually it's like to the three-point line, what have you. But there's also a role in the dunker spot around on the baseline. I guess when you think about spacing around the baseline, how does that differ for you in terms of when to be in which spots? And
that was a big part of me this summer, just getting with my shooting guys and stuff like that, just being able to do both, just spacing out certain times, depending who's on the court, other times playing the dunker spot. Because the dunker is super valuable, especially with somebody like that. So it just depends who's on the floor. I think we have guys we can interchange the dunker between like me, Kelly, and Caleb and Yabu. So it really just depends. And I think that's why we're gonna be a really good team, just being able to put guys in different positions. No matter who we play.
Nick talked pregame about how, when you got traded last year, maybe your head was kind of spinning a little bit because it was very surprising and all that, but does your comfort level now, does that allow you to kind of play freer and faster?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, when I got traded here last year, I just got traded to the Clippers a month and a half, 2 months before that. So it was just like a lot, just going into the training camp and then learning their stuff and then coming here and, you know, trying to get acclimated and, you know, learn their stuff like that. And I feel like we already had a rotation that was, you know, set, which it makes sense. I mean, a team that goes through training camp that's one of the best teams in the East, they're going to be, you know, set with their guys. But this year, just the opportunity that I had going into training camp and knowing what the team needs and, you know, guys like the 3 and the 4, I just took it as an opportunity every single day, and we continue to do that.
Nick's talked about
Last
pace a
couple.
lot, obviously, and then rebounding and the relationship between the two. Obviously, that bodes well with your game. How do you feel that the team as a whole has kind of taken on that mentality?
I think we take it all good. Like I said, we have a lot of guys who could do a lot of things. So, I mean, I think any of our wings, if we get the rebound, we can take a couple dribbles, pass it up. If Tyrese gets a rebound, obviously he can take it and go. So, I think that helps a lot. Just having a bunch of guys on the court who can do a little bit of everything. And once we get on offense, everyone can be in any spot. We can just figure it out. The same thing defensively. Like on defense, if we run back on defense and if it's not our matchup, but we still have somebody, I mean, we can just figure it out after.
That first
Last
lobby
question.
shot from Tyrese today, it seemed like you just caught the defender sleeping and
Yeah.
just went right back door and Tyrese found you. I guess, do you have conversations with Tyrese about,
Yeah.
I'm looking to see if my guy's sleeping so I can cut back door, and I guess as someone who's always been a lot for him,
Yeah.
when did you learn that that's something that you should really be focused on?
I mean, yeah, me and Tyrese talk about it. I mean, since I came to Houston, I just realized, I mean, I feel like anytime I'm on the floor, I'm probably one of the most athletic guys. So me and Tyrese just have conversations. It's like, yeah, if I see you have space to jump, even me and Kyle talk, like, if I see you have space to jump, I'm just going to throw it because I know if you don't go dunk it, you might lay it in, or if not, you're going to grab it and come down and make the right play. So I think it's super effective just having guys who can make passes like that, and obviously it helps me a lot just being able to finish over the top and get easy buckets just to get a rhythm.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
JJ.
JJ.
Thanks.